There is something most airlines never say out loud. Your trip can start falling apart before you ever reach the gate, not because of your ticket, not because of your suitcase, but because of what you chose to wear to the airport. And for travelers over 70, that mistake can cost even more. The wrong outfit does not just create discomfort. It can slow you down at security, draw unwanted attention, increase the chance of extra screening, and quietly turn what should have been a smooth travel day into stress, delay, and unnecessary expense. Many people assume these problems are random. Very often, they are not. Behind the scenes, airport staff and security notice patterns quickly. Certain clothing choices stand out right away. And once they do, everything can become more difficult moving through the terminal, getting through screening, staying comfortable, and avoiding the kind of trouble no older traveler wants to deal with before a flight. In today's video, we are revealing 10 travel outfit mistakes people over 70 should never make at the airport in 2026. Some of them seem harmless, some even feel practical. But in reality, they can cost you time, comfort, money, and in some cases, even your safety. And the first mistake is one many older travelers make without ever realizing the risk. Number 10. The luxury trap. This is one of the easiest mistakes to make because on the surface, it does not look like a mistake at all. A designer handbag, a luxury coat, a watch that looks expensive, flashy logos, polished accessories. Many travelers over 70 wear these items thinking they project confidence, experience, and good taste. But inside an airport, visible luxury often does the opposite. It makes you stand out. And standing out is not always a good thing. The more expensive you look, the more attention you attract from airport staff, from strangers watching the crowd, and sometimes from people looking for an easy target. Even when nothing goes wrong, that kind of visibility can still work against you. It can lead to more unwanted interaction, more pressure to spend, and more risk than most travelers expect. That is the real problem. What feels elegant and harmless can quietly make your trip more complicated before you even get on the plane. A smarter approach is much simpler. Wear neat, comfortable basics without loud branding, and keep valuable items tucked safely inside your carry-on where you can monitor them yourself. Because at the airport, the safest traveler is often the one who looks calm, prepared, and easy to overlook. Number 9. The attention magnet. This next mistake seems harmless. In fact, some people wear it on purpose because it feels cheerful, bold, or full of personality. Bright colors, loud patterns, flashy clothing that immediately catches the eye. But in an airport, being noticed too quickly can work against you. Security staff scan large crowds fast, and the eye naturally lands on whatever stands out first. That means neon shades, bold prints, and attention-grabbing outfits can make you more visible from the moment you enter the terminal. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you are simply easier to pick out. And once you stand out, the day can start feeling heavier. More eyes on you, more attention from staff, more chances of being singled out when all you wanted was a quiet, smooth trip. For travelers over 70, that matters. Most older passengers are not looking to turn heads at the airport. They want less stress, less friction, and fewer unnecessary delays. The smartest airport outfit is often not the one that gets remembered. It is the one that helps you move through the system without trouble. A better choice is to wear darker or neutral tones, like navy, gray, black, or beige. You can still look polished and well put together without drawing the kind of attention that makes travel harder. And if you enjoy color, keep it small and removable, like a scarf or light accessory. Because sometimes the easiest trip begins with not standing out at all. Number 8. The scent bomb. This mistake has nothing to do with style, but it can make a flight uncomfortable very quickly. Heavy perfume, strong fragrance, or too much makeup may feel completely normal before you leave home. But once you step onto a plane, everything changes. The cabin is a closed space and the air is shared by everyone around you. What smells pleasant to you may become overwhelming to someone sitting just inches away. And that is where the trouble begins. For travelers over 70, comfort matters more than ever during a flight. But comfort is not only about your own experience. It is also about how easily you can exist in a small space without creating tension around you. Strong scents can bother other passengers, trigger allergies, and turn a peaceful seat assignment into an awkward situation no one wanted. There is also another issue many people overlook. Air inside the cabin is extremely dry. Heavy makeup often does not wear well in that environment. Instead of helping you feel fresh, it can leave your skin feeling tighter, drier, and more uncomfortable as the flight goes on. The better choice is simple. Keep fragrance very light or skip it entirely, and wear only minimal makeup with good moisturizer and sun protection. If you want to freshen up, it is much easier to do that after landing. Because the best travel outfit is not the one that makes the strongest impression. It is the one that lets you stay comfortable and lets everyone around you stay comfortable too. Number 7. The metal detector nightmare. This is one of those mistakes many travelers do not think about until the exact moment it causes a problem. Complicated jewelry. Not a simple ring or a small pair of earrings, but stacked bracelets, layered necklaces, hard-to-remove bangles, or anything with tricky clasps and extra metal. These pieces may look beautiful, but at airport security, they can slow everything down in seconds. And when that happens, stress rises fast. For travelers over 70, the issue is not fashion. It is pressure. Standing there while trying to remove tangled jewelry, open a stubborn clasp, or figure out what triggered the scanner is the kind of situation that can make an otherwise calm trip feel frustrating and exhausting. And when people are waiting behind you, it only gets worse. That is why the smarter choice is simple jewelry that is easy to remove, easy to manage, and easy to travel with. The goal is not to dress down. The goal is to avoid turning a 10-second security check into a stressful delay. At the airport, speed matters more than style. And anything that slows your hands, distracts your mind, or holds up your movement is not helping you. Because once travel becomes complicated at security, the rest of the day often feels harder too. Number 6. The bathroom disaster. At first glance, this outfit seems like a smart choice. A jumpsuit or any one-piece outfit can look polished, neat, and easy. For many travelers over 70, that kind of outfit feels convenient because it appears simple and well put together. But on a plane, especially during a long flight, it can become far less practical than it seems. The real problem starts the moment you need to use the bathroom. Airplane lavatories are tiny, cramped, and difficult enough without adding clothing that has to be managed all at once. In a small space with limited balance, little room to move, and sometimes turbulence in the middle of it all, a one-piece outfit can quickly turn into an uncomfortable struggle. What looked elegant at the airport can become a real burden at 36,000 feet. For older travelers, this is not just an inconvenience. It is about comfort, speed, and stability. The more complicated your clothing is, the more effort every restroom visit requires. And when an outfit makes a basic need harder, the entire flight can start feeling longer, more tiring, and more stressful. A much better choice is to wear something that still looks coordinated but gives you more control and makes everyday movement easier. Because when you are flying, the best outfit is not just the one that looks good standing still. It is the one that still works when real travel happens. Number 5. The circulation killer. This next mistake may feel completely harmless when you leave home. Tight jeans, stiff waistbands, restrictive pants, or any clothing that fits too closely can seem fine at first. But once you are sitting for hours on a flight, that same outfit can start working against your body in ways many travelers never notice until discomfort sets in. And for travelers over 70, this matters even more. Long periods of sitting already reduce movement. Add tight clothing to that, and your body has even less room to stay comfortable. Blood flow can become more restricted. Swelling can feel worse, and what seemed like a flattering outfit at the airport can turn into something exhausting by the time the plane lands. This is why comfort in the air is not a small issue. It is part of protecting your energy, your mobility, and your overall well-being during travel. The older we get, the more important it becomes to choose clothing that allows the body to breathe, stretch, and move naturally. A better option is soft, flexible clothing with a little extra room fabrics that stretch waistbands that do not press too hard, and shoes and socks that support circulation instead of making things tighter. Even small choices like this can make a big difference over the course of a flight. Because on a plane, the outfit that feels slightly looser on the ground often turns out to be the smartest one in the air. Number 4. The hypothermia trap. A lot of travelers make this mistake for a very understandable reason. They dress for the weather outside or for the warm destination waiting at the other end of the trip. Shorts, light tops, thin fabrics, no extra layer. It feels sensible when you are leaving for somewhere sunny. But airplanes do not care where you are going. They only care about the temperature inside the cabin. And that cabin can feel surprisingly cold. For travelers over 70, this is more than a comfort issue. The body often feels cold faster and recovers from it more slowly. What starts as a cool cabin can turn into stiffness, discomfort, and a long flight that feels much harder than it should. When your arms and legs are exposed for hours, even a routine trip can become draining. That is why the smarter approach is to dress for the flight first, not the destination first. Light layers work far better than a single thin outfit. A soft jacket, a cardigan, or anything easy to remove gives you control. And control matters when the temperature around you is no longer in your hands. The best-dressed traveler at the airport is not the one dressed for the beach. It is the one prepared for the reality of the plane. Because once you are cold in the air, the flight rarely feels easy again. Number 3. The security nightmare. This mistake often feels practical right up until the moment it causes trouble. Cargo pants, travel vests, or any outfit with too many pockets may seem useful at the airport. More compartments, more convenience, more places to keep things close. For many travelers over 70, that sounds like a smart way to stay organized. But at security, too many pockets can quickly become a problem. The more pockets you have, the easier it is to forget something. A coin, a tissue, a receipt, a key, or some other small item left behind without thinking. And all it takes is one missed pocket to slow everything down. Suddenly, a simple screening becomes extra scanning, extra questions, and extra stress. For older travelers, that kind of delay is especially frustrating because it creates pressure at exactly the wrong moment. You are trying to stay calm, keep track of your belongings, and move forward smoothly. The last thing you need is clothing that makes the process more complicated. A better choice is simple clothing with fewer compartments and fewer chances to forget what is still on you. If you need extra storage, it is far easier to use one small, easy-to-check bag than to rely on an outfit full of hidden places. Because at the airport, the more complicated your clothing is, the more complicated your day can become. Number 2. The germ factory. This is one of the most overlooked airport mistakes because it feels so easy and comfortable. Sandals, flip-flops, and other open-toe shoes may seem like a simple choice, especially for travelers over 70 who want something light and easy to remove. But the moment you reach airport security, those shoes can expose you to more than most people want to think about. Because once your shoes come off, your feet are far more vulnerable. Airport floors, especially around security, are used by thousands of people every day. And for older travelers, that matters. Open footwear offers very little protection in places where cleanliness is never guaranteed. What feels convenient for a few minutes can become a choice that leaves you feeling uncomfortable, exposed, and uneasy for the rest of the trip. There is also the practical side. Open-toe shoes are not always stable, not always supportive, and not always ideal when you are moving through long terminals, standing in lines, or trying to keep your balance while handling bags and documents. A smarter option is closed-toe shoes that are still easy to slip on and off. That way you keep the convenience without giving up protection support and peace of mind. Because in the airport, the easiest shoe is not always the safest one. Number 1. The safety hazard. This final mistake may seem small, but in the wrong moment, it becomes the most serious one of all. The wrong shoes. High heels, loose slip-ons, unstable sandals, heavy boots, or any footwear that is hard to move in can create real risk during air travel. Most of the time, people think about shoes in terms of comfort or appearance. But on a plane, footwear is also about balance, speed, and safety. For travelers over 70, that matters more than ever. Airports require a lot of walking. Boarding areas can feel rushed. Aisles are narrow. Floors can be slippery. And if there were ever an urgent situation, the last thing you would want is footwear that slows you down, slips off, or makes it harder to stay steady on your feet. In travel, one unstable step is all it takes to turn a stressful moment into a dangerous one. That is why the smartest choice is simple wear shoes that are secure, supportive, and easy to walk in without hesitation. If you cannot move confidently in them, they do not belong on a travel day. Because these are not just fashion mistakes. They are travel mistakes, the kind that can cost you time, comfort money, health, and sometimes even your safety. And once you understand that, you start dressing for the reality of flying, not just for the photo, the weather, or the habit. So now the pattern becomes clear. These are not just harmless outfit choices. They are small decisions that can quietly create bigger problems. Longer security checks, unwanted attention, physical discomfort, added stress, and for travelers over 70, sometimes risks that are far more serious than they first appear. The truth is, many older travelers have spent a lifetime dressing with confidence, dignity, and personal style, and that should never change. But airport travel in 2026 is not just about looking presentable. It is about moving safely, comfortably, and wisely through an environment that can become exhausting very quickly if you are not prepared. That is the real lesson here. The best airport outfit is not the most expensive, the brightest, or the most stylish. It is the one that helps you stay calm at security, comfortable on the plane, steady on your feet, and in control of your trip from beginning to end. And once you start thinking that way, flying becomes easier. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these outfit mistakes have you seen before, or maybe even made yourself? And which one do you think causes the biggest trouble for travelers over 70? Write it in the comments. And if you want to stay ahead of hidden airline problems, airport rules, and travel mistakes that can ruin a trip before it even begins, make sure to subscribe and follow along. Safe travels.